Hi Internet! So I restarted my PlayStation 1 collection. There you can see the three games that I kept for my collection, and here I'm putting the new games out onto my little table here. I restarted my collection just because I realized I hadn't really bought a PlayStation 1 game in a very long time, so I kind of wanted to just kind of start over, if that makes sense. So here's what I ended up keeping out of my collection: Silent Hill, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and Clock Tower. These are three games that I absolutely love and hold very dear to my heart, especially Clock Tower. But they're also the three most expensive games that I own. Even Silent Hill here was $110 when I bought it, and that was maybe a year or two ago. Castlevania Symphony of the Night, not as expensive. The case is a little scratched up, and it was only $85. But it's still a fantastic game, and I really enjoy it. But Clock Tower, this was kind of a bucket list item for me, and as you'll see as I flip it over, it was $220. But I'm very thrilled to have it in my collection, and I love it all the same. It's also really scary. Now, I've had these three games sitting on my shelf for about a month or two now, and I decided since a new game store just opened up in my town, this would be a good time to restart my PlayStation 1 collection. So let's go through the games that I ended up buying. So, the first game I'm going to show is Tekken. It's a classic fighting game made by Namco, and I picked it up. I've never actually played Tekken before, and I popped this one in the other day to give it a shot, and it still actually holds up pretty well. There's a little bit of rot on the end of the disc, but as you can see, it wipes off quite easily, and there was nothing on the back. Looks like someone paid $5 for it at one point. Next up is Spyro the Dragon, a classic platformer. This is an essential for every PlayStation 1 collection, at least in my opinion. It's just one of those classic PS1 games that you have, and I know there's other Spyro games. I had them all at one point, got rid of them over time, so eventually I'll go back and recollect them, but I have the entire case. Next are Gran Turismo 1 and 2, classic racing games. I'm surprised the second one is not as expensive as the first one. I wonder what main difference is. But they're just classic racers, kind of like the Need for Speed games, which eventually I'll hopefully get around to collecting. They didn't have any at this new shop that I was at, but I'm happy to have them nonetheless. Twisted Metal 3. This is actually the first Twisted Metal game I own. I don't think I have any other ones, and I've never actually played, except for maybe Twisted Metal when I was younger. Oops, looks like the case fell off. Yeah, that happens with these old cases after time. They just kind of fall off after a while, but that's okay. As long as they clip back together, I'm fine. Tekken 2, sequel to Tekken, the most expensive game that I bought in this lot. Looks like someone also paid $5 for it at one point. It's just a sequel to the original Tekken. Has more characters, slightly better graphics, and it looks like it has a broken case as well. But that's okay. As long as the game works, I really couldn't care about the case. And finally, we have Crash Bandicoot, one of the all-time classics for PlayStation 1. It's an action platformer, and it's just one of the best games. It's the case isn't held on very well, and eventually I'll get the other sequels, but for now, I'm just happy to have it in my collection. So, this is going to conclude me restarting my PlayStation 1 collection, at least for the time being. I eventually want to move on to collecting PS2 games again as well, because I did get rid of those. But for now, I think I'm going to stick to PlayStation 1 and kind of build it up like I did my PS4 and PS3 collections. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you very much for the support, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Also, happy 4th of July!